Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Scene Snob, Mick and Mad-man, and I'm here to tell you guys about the SceneSnobs.com. We're a channel of variety, comedy, entertainment, geek-related, sports, the whole nine yards. We cover almost every genre. And we have so many great shows to choose from. We have shows like the Scene Snobs Podcast, BTB Podcast, The Guapo Show, the Sports Snobs Podcast, the PVD Cast, Jeff Dwoskin presents Crossing the Streams, the Three Geeks Podcast, the Fandom Effect. We probably have the only Matlock-based podcast called Matt Talk, and we're introducing new shows all the time. We have new shows coming up like the Ear Hustling Podcast, Carpool Shenanigans, and of course, from some nobodies, Twitching Upstream and Talking Upstream. So come on, check out the SceneSnobs.com, enjoy it, and please leave feedback. Like, follow, subscribe us, and just let us know what you think. We love to have all the interaction. So I, again, am the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. Check out the SceneSnobs.com. You can follow us anywhere on social media at the Scene Snob, and we will talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, part 6. And you're listening to the SceneSnobs.com.
Madman.
Mick!
Welcome to another episode of the Scene Snobs Podcast.
I assure you the pleasure is all mine, my friend, because I get to see that beautiful face.
It is 100% yours, absolutely.
Always.
I do love the outfit that you have chosen for tonight. It's a very special night.
Well, thank you. I wanted to be as fancy as we possibly could when we have such high-end fancy guests.
You know, it's funny. And we did not coordinate this at all, but we have two very special guests that I have been excited for a long time to get on the show. And then when agreed to be on the show, I was extra excited. They're Hollywood royalty.
Walking around with a huge boner all day. It was crazy.
I know. You kept sending me pictures, and I just I have enough. I don't need any more.
Why? It's glorious.
I didn't say that it wasn't. I just said that I don't need any more. I will say this, though. Because they are Hollywood royalty, it brings me back to my days when I lived in Hollywood, and I loved it, and it was a great experience. But you're wearing a Welcome to Haddonfield shirt. Now, anybody who doesn't know, that's from Halloween. Now, they shot Halloween right over there, right off Sunset, in a little suburban area, and Orange Grove, I think that was the name of the road. And when I was writing a movie that we are working on, The Cabin, I would often go down to that street and take a walk around, just to kind of get the juices of Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Get that Carpenter feel. Yeah.
Yes, fuel the fire a bit. So when I see that, and now that we have Hollywood royalty on here, I'm even more ecstatic. It brings me back to the good old days. But I don't want to make them wait any longer. I want to introduce them. We have tonight very special guests, Mr. Jimmy Star, Mr. Ron Russell from the Jimmy Star with Ron Russell show. I'm going to bring them on now. Hey, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Listen up. Hollywood royalty? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a regular Joe. I'm a street kid. Are you kidding? Hollywood royalty. I love that. It sounds so gay. Royalty.
I will tell you.
Hey, kings and queens are royalty.
Yeah, I'm the king. He's the queen.
There we go. however it works. I have a question though for you guys. Which one's Mick and which one's the Madman?
I know that. I knew you were Mick and the other one's the Madman. Because I knew that.
It's so funny because I looked at the Facebook pictures and it didn't work out. I don't think I saw the beard.
Because the guy with the plaid shirt is like regular. The guy with the crazy shit on his T-shirt, that's maddening, and that's what I like. I like people who say it.
And Mick's name is Mick Manhattan.
Oh, go away! you made that up.
Oh, it is definitely a stage name, 100%. Because I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey.
Oh, poor thing. It's okay.
Right? The poor guy telling him all the time.
Oh, New Jersey.
And Madman, where are you from?
I'm from Connecticut. We don't even count.
Oh, worse.
Exactly.
Connecticut. You know, you have to be a Protestant and a WASP, an English background to live in Connecticut, or a Jew with a lot of money.
Exactly. It's very true. Those are in the South. We're up north. So I'm one of the northern ones. So I'm the WASP.
So you're the WASP one. But there are a few Italians in Connecticut, but I think they own pizzerias.
Yeah, they stay in the middle of the state. They know better.
They work in Providence.
Right.
As he holds his nose.
Right. You know, but I don't give a crap if you're from the East Coast. You're wonderful no matter where you're from. The West Coast is so pathetic. I can't stand it. I live here because of the business, but I would be back in New York right now in that snowstorm in a house with all my friends drinking with a fire, telling crazy stories, laughing our asses off, eating everything in the refrigerator, and having the best time.
And that's the glorious way to do it.
That is.
East Coasters do it better than anybody. And when they say New Yorkers aren't friendly, that's bullshit. I mean, New York people are honest. They're upfront. They don't do the I love you bullshit. You know, all that. They need that insecurity crap. Like out here, everybody, I love you. Oh my God, vomit. Everybody loves everybody. And meanwhile, nobody sees anybody and they all bitch about each other. That's love. In New York, we walk up to each other and say, hey, fucko, how are you?
Yep.
And then they say back, good, fuck you too. Let's go have a drink. It's just a whole people. I have to get into this whole thing. I have trouble out here with my humor because I'm a New Yorker and they don't get it. When I do a joke, they take it offensively, like I mean it, like it's an insult. It's not. It's called a camp. It's called a joke. Like you could say to a friend in New York, you could say something stupid, and the guy laughs. Here, they get very offended.
Yeah.
So I am as California people. They're not even California people. There's no such thing as a Californian. They come from all over the United States. We're places that we've never heard of, like Under Rock City or like brainless towns.
Or Idaho.
Things like that. They're not sophisticated like we are in New York. In New York, you can be as poor as your poor can be. But when you're in the city, you're as rich can be. And we learned that. I'm just upset about my humor and how it offends so many people. I really don't give a shit, but I'm just trying to make a conversation out of it.
Actually, people
No, it's
love
very
it.
true. This is 100%, though. I couldn't agree with you more because this is absolutely the show for you because we tell each other to fuck off all the time.
I love
There you
that.
go.
I know telling me to go fuck myself is such a nice feeling.
Right.
I mean, really, like my best friends will say, oh, fuck you, Ronnie. You don't know what you're talking about. And I feel good. It's warm. But out here, they don't say that. They say, are you sure you're correct? Oh, I'm offended by your insinuation. You know, blow me, my insinuation. Blow me.
So how did you guys come up with the Scene Snobs, though? I love the name.
I love the
show.
name because that's fabulous.
Yeah, it's a great
You're the furthest thing from snobs.
Thank you. That I just kind of I was looking for something, just to kind of stick out, and I wanted it to be, I wanted to call it a snobs because we were those guys in like the video store who were like knew the movies and were getting picked on by the cool kids, but we're like, yeah, but when you come into our realm and want to rent a movie, we are the snobs. We know what we're talking about. But we're also like, we're not snobs in the sense it's like, oh, we won't watch that. We won't watch that. Marvel, like we love everything. So I put us, I still put it together, but I figured it would be a fun little tongue-in-cheek thing because we're really not like that.
I don't love everything that's today. I think I'm in quite a few movies, but I think I'm only in two that I like. and I just about barely like them. It's almost like, I don't know why acting today is no longer acting. The reason we were actors and did films 50, 60, 70 years, I'm 80 years old. So I go back to Betty Davis and
Looking good, Ron.
And I go back to the days of Mae West and Marilyn Monroe and my dear friend my buddy Jane Russell. And in those days, people acted. So some moron I had dinner with a couple of years ago said, the actors today are better because they don't act. I said, I understand that. But when you're an actor, it's called acting. You're supposed to bring to the public fantasy. You're not supposed to bring reality. Like Julianne Moore sitting on a toilet bowl, taking a shit, wiping her ass, looking at the toilet paper, throwing it in the bowl, and flushing.
We actually saw a movie that's
a movie that she's in.
With Julianne Moore.
And I sat there and I said to Jimmy Starr, do I need to see Julianne Moore taking a shit? I mean, really, is that art? Is that theater? Eddie Davis would never take a shit in a movie.
We saw something else too recently.
Oh, everybody's ass is on
like all the time now. They're like, people are taking a poop while they're like.
That's a new thing now. So put that in your movies, guys. Why don't you put guys jerking off in the toilet, jerking off in the bathroom? I think they have that already.
Yeah, I think we need to hire Nick Cage for that role.
Yeah, young guys jerking off.
Actually,
in the
Nick
bathroom.
Cage. I forgot because I tried to get him for a film, but he's expensive to do that. He's got a $2 million. I didn't try to get him to do that, but he's got like a $2 million guarantee or something. So if you want him to jerk off, if you really want to pay $2 million.
Reality is here. Now I'm waiting to see all the movies they're going to do about COVID. Like, we don't have enough of COVID. We need to go to the movies now and sit there and watch people dying on iron lungs, whatever, from COVID. Years ago, film was fantasy, and the actors were fantasy. That's why they were stars, legends. Today, the reality has taken away all of the fantasy. Right now, we're living in a politically upset world. Everybody's crazy. Democrats hating Republicans, okay?
Vice versa.
And vice versa.
All the way.
Well, and we don't need to see reality. What we need is comedy, which we don't have anymore. Everything on Netflix or the other programs are all about cops chasing their kidnapped wives or their kidnapped children or the drug guy or like Jason Statham, who's
that's his favorite.
My favorite
Jason
hero.
Statham.
I love it how he beats up 12 guys in 2 seconds.
It's amazing.
They're all unconscious, and his tie didn't even move in his jacket. So I don't get it. But I know you guys are in film. Jimmy's a producer. Jimmy's got some wonderful scripts lined up. I'm in 2 of them. I'm excited. And I said to Jimmy, whoever the director is may not like what I'm going to do because I'm going to act.
Well, that seems a bit off par for an actor.
You know what acting is. Let's do this. And she went down to the lake and dropped her drawers. That's not acting. That's line reading. Acting is. She went to the lake and she dropped her drawers.
You got to get excited. You got to sell it.
No, you got to be real in a fake way. But they don't know how to do that. Every movie I'm in, they read lines to me. I feel like I'm at a table reading. I look at them and I say, can you give me something with it? What do you mean? Well, if you're about to stab me and kill me, could you let me know that you're going to stab me and kill me with a little bit of violence, a little bit of hate, a little bit of insanity? No. Don't just say, I'm coming to get you, to kill you.
So it's you guys' turn. It's your show. Talk.
No more.
Tell us what you want to know.
I'm drinking my Pellegrino water.
It's always hard when you're an interviewer to get interviewed because you're so used to talking.
I don't know how to be a guest. I'm sorry, fellas.
No, you're doing great. This is fantastic.
No, I don't want to take over, but I've been doing this for how many fucking years now?
That's exactly how we do it.
You realize how many people that we have interviewed? Jimmy and I are on the show 14 years. We have 2 people a week.
Wow.
For 14 years. Plus, I had set the record straight before Jimmy for 10 years, where I interviewed the legends of Hollywood: Cliff Robertson, Betty Davis, Jane Russell, all the
Tab Hunter,
Lauren Bacall, all the big
John Waters.
Yeah, all the big stars. And so I've been interviewing forever. I don't know how not to do it.
I love Lauren Bacall, man. I fell in love with her in The Big Sleep. That was the movie that cinched me for her and Bogey. For my entire life. She created such a standard for me to want to like go after that kind of woman with that much attitude and spunk and just.
Oh, she was a broad. No, she was a broad. She was a Brooklyn broad. Friend of mine was doing $1,000 a plate luncheon in New York City. And he said to me, Ron, I want you to come and interview and cover it and PR it. I said, okay, fine. Well, when I got there wasn't a seat for me. All the $1,000 plates were 12 of them around the table and Lauren Bacall or Betty. So I went up to Lauren and I said, Lauren, you're the head honcho here. Don't I get a chair to sit in? She said, they didn't give you a chair? I said, no. She said, here, honey, come sit on my lap. And I sat on Lauren Bacall's lap, and I just read her by 2 minutes. Well, wow. I fell instantly in love with her. And then the after, hanging out thing, she was terrific. Then Peter Allen, who was a dear friend of mine, he had a birthday party. And I went into his apartment at the Dakota, big long hallway, and you get to a living room. There was a crowd of queens, all gay guys screaming, carrying on. Woo, woo, woo. I said, what the fuck is going on? In the middle was Lauren Bacall, loaded beyond belief. She was holding court. All the fans were like bowing. Oh, my Lord, we love you, we love you, we love you. And they held her up. If those queens moved away, she'd have hit the ground. Anyway, I saw her a few times after, and I absolutely adored and loved Laura Bacall. She'll tell you to go fuck yourself. She's got a mouth like one. Oh, yeah. She's a real person. Don't go over to her and act bullshit with her because she'll walk away. She knows Hollywood bullshit. She hates it. No, that's a broad. She's a broad. Jane Russell was the same way.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Jane was a buddy of mine. We hung out. We stayed in each other's houses. We traveled together. Jane was a broad. I like broads.
That's awesome.
They're fun women.
Exactly. I'm a fan of broads myself.
It's your show. It's your show now. Go do your work. I'm tired.
Mick, fire away, bro.
You guys have. This is like a master class on how to actually do this. So that's why I'm like shutting up. I'm like, I just want to listen. You guys have a fantastic show. I came upon it some months ago, and I reached out to Jimmy, and Jimmy has this presence online that's just amazing. And I've tried to emulate that in my own way. Trying to build this little thing I'm doing.
No, never do that. Never do that. Never look in the mirror. Talk to the mirror. Make believe the mirror is your audience. Pull out of you from your balls. I want you to pull up out of you from your balls out your mouth. Something that is unique that people will like. Copycats, there are many out there that try to do our show and they fall to the wayside because I'm a natural born 80-year-old New Yorker who's lived a life fandango with all the legends of Hollywood. Nobody has, they call me Mr. Hollywood. Nobody has the knowledge or the friendships that I've had. Betty Davis was a good friend of mine. I mean, the list goes on and on of legends. A lot of people try to do it with maybe not such famous people, and it doesn't work. So I think,
be yourself.
And I sense in you that you have a very profound personality. And I think if you study yourself and bring out your good points, where you're humorous, where you're intelligent, where you're sharp, where you're mad. I do all those things on our show. I yell at Jimmy. Sometimes we fight. It's all make-believe. I say terrible things to him that people sometimes take for granted that it's really true, but it's not. You have to really develop. Mm-hmm. Everybody and their mother now has a talk show, and it's so sad because a lot of them are my friends. They're actors. And I've gone in politely to watch their show. And I said to Jimmy, they stink as actors and they stink as talk show hosts. They really should. These gorgeous women with the big tits, they really should marry a rich man and get the fuck out of the business.
And you heard it here first, folks.
Yes. I mean, there will never be another Marilyn Monroe.
Valid.
There will never be another Cary Grant. No,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Why, Mr. Cary Grant, the way he carried himself, anyone could do that.
I wanted to be Cary Grant. But I grew up and became.
We live in Palm Springs. He has a house that he used to live in is here in Palm Springs. You can see it's got a plaque on it that it was Cary Grant's house.
I wanted to be Cary Grant, but I became Jane Russell. So, because I did Jane Russell in stand-up comedy. I was a drag queen. I did a drag as Jane Russell in stand-up comedy for 40-something years in between making movies and television. So I've done it all. And people said to me, I didn't know you were a drag queen. I said, I'm not a drag queen. I'm an actor. And I portray a film star, Jane Russell. So they didn't get it. They thought I was just, I ran around the house in high heels and panties and a bra,
Yeah, it's a little over their head, People, when they don't have that depth or that consideration, or they're not willing to look inside themselves and just enjoy that spark of madness we all have, they fuck it up because they're trying to emulate rather than just
hang on, I'm trying to get. Oh, wait, how do I get? There we go. Hang on.
Oh, well, hello.
That's awesome.
Hey, Ron.
That's Ron in drag as Jane Russell.
That is a glorious red dress, by the way, and you are working it, sir.
Yeah, I was
there. He is in a bathtub. Let's see.
That's in a sense.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, that went all over the world. It got such reviews in Germany. That centerfold I did. They said that I forgot what it was, but a big write-up. And the book was called Persona, and it sold like mad. It was $65 that book, and it sold like mad all over Europe. Not so much in America. America, the Europeans like the drag, but that's what people say to me. You a drag queen? I said, if you met Tony Curtis, who I knew very well, my good friend, would you ask him if he was a drag queen? Because he was in Some Like It Hot. Mm-hmm. You think Jack Lemmon is a drag queen? No, they're actors, and they portray fun. I didn't go up there pretending to be a sexy woman. I went up there as Jane Russell, and I said dirty jokes. I was a stand-up comic, and I made fun of myself. So
I have to tell you something too, you guys.
I'm talking too much.
Because you guys have your show has an actually, I put on my Instagram, I put that Ron and I were coming on the show. Lots of people liked it, like 200 people liked it or something. And then I had 3 people actually contact me and saying, hey, I see you guys are going on Scene Snobs. And he's like, there's so many shitty shows out there, but that one's actually good. You're going to actually like it. The guys are cool. They like it. So you have an actual good reputation. How long have you been doing it?
Long enough for people to be lying about us already.
Yeah.
And you're very witty. You're like the Ron. You're like the Ron.
They've been lying about us for 19 years.
14.
So get used to it.
Just start adding more. Fuck it. It's 27 years.
Hollywood royalty. Is that a load of shit?
Oh man!
I'll tell you, the Scene Snobs is fairly new. It started about 2 years ago. Concept. I wanted to build a channel of just awesome podcasts, and bring podcasters together. And we're at like 19 shows with.
Jimmy's interviewing you. I love it. I just realized that Jimmy's interviewing you. We are bad.
No, it's fine. We'll do
We're
this.
Learning. We're learning right now.
We'll go back and do it. We'll ask a question, and then you can ask a question.
I love it. Let's do it.
Wait, the both of you come on our show. This way you can interview us on our show.
You know what? Done. Bet.
I have lots of questions for you.
I like both of you. You're very nice. You're my kind of people. You're regular Joes. I like.
So go, Mick. Go. Say something, Mick.
Yes.
But the Scene Snobs started like 2 years ago. I wanted to start the channel. Casey came in the beginning, but he and I have been podcasting for about 10 years, and we had a show together for about 5 of those years. We hosted. We did pretty well with it, and then it kind of fell apart. We had another host, and he was kind of going through some stuff, so it kind of dropped off. But so then the Scene Snobs was just kind of like, let's get into it. Let's do something different. We had a falling out after 2 episodes. And
over cheesecake. He and I, man, it was a whole thing.
He's one of my best friends.
So you took your china out of the apartment and left.
Darn tootin'.
That's a gay joke. Didn't get that.
I know.
That's a gay
well, you said darn tootin', so hey.
Like when 2 straight guys are friends and say, when are you going shopping for China? That's a gay thing. So I was making a joke, fellas. Go.
At this point, we might as well just get together because we are just so in sync with each other. When he left, I realized I could not do this without him. Not that I couldn't. I did do it for 6 months without him. And then he came back, and I was like, I didn't want to do it without him. I didn't want to. So it wasn't like a need. And I was like, when he came back, I was like, dude, we're going to fire on all cylinders because we work so well together.
It's also very hard to do a show by yourself. One person can't do
Jimmy
a show.
Would never
We're very different.
If I left the show, Jimmy would never, ever say, I miss Ron, or he wasn't the show.
Sure, I would. Ron made the show.
That's true.
He's the comedian. I'm more like you, Mick. He's the one who comes up. He's very quick with the one-liners. He never knows what people are going to say. And
I haven't gone senile yet, so I'm using it all while I have it.
Might as well, take advantage.
As quickly as I can,
Now, literally, like when I started the show, because I had the show for 4 years before Ron came on. We had like 1 million viewers and listeners, not viewers, listeners, because we didn't do video. Ron got us to do video, so we had 1 million viewers, listeners a week. And then he came on, and over like 2 or 3 years, he didn't want to do radio. He wanted to do video.
Radio.
So we've been doing video podcasts now for
we were one of
7
the first.
years. Probably 7 years we've been doing it on video.
We were the first.
Yeah, we were like one of the first ones because he said, I can't see what people are saying when they're on the radio. I don't know what they're saying. So he would interrupt them and stuff. And this way I can see when they're talking. And
I just didn't feel.
Plus, he's gorgeous and he likes to be seen.
Oh, bullshit.
Right, hey, Ron, I'm right with you, man. This face made for TV.
100%.
You know what it is? I see your reaction, and I know where to go with it. I did stand up for 40 years in all the nightclubs all over the coast of the United States. And I am so audience trained that I can look at the faces of the first 4 tables and know where I'm going with my humor. If I'm going correctly, if I'm offending, if I'm getting too tough, if I'm too weak. So radio, people were talking and I'm talking and I'm saying to myself, why don't they shut the fuck up? I'm supposed to be interviewing them. Why are they just going on and on and on with this boring shit? We got them. We got it. The first 2 sentences, we got it. Why are you making a book out of it? So we went, film. I'm not film, whatever the
video.
shit is.
Yeah, video. So
and I love seeing the both of you because I commented on his shirt. I commented on your shirt. It gives us food for thought. Radio is nice if you're scripted. You're doing a radio show like Jimmy and I, we can plug it now.
We're getting ready to do a radio drama movie, like a movie, but all on radio.
Like old-fashioned radio.
Oh, yeah, like The Shadow.
Yes, and I can't wait because that's my bag.
It's called Dead Exit. And
I play a talk show host.
No, game show host.
A game show host.
And I play a TMZ reporter type person.
So I'm excited about this because I love radio and, Baby Snooks and Inner Sanctum and all the old radio shows. When I was a little kid, I used to lay in bed in the dark listening to these spooky shows and get scared to death. Radio was a wonderful thing because your mind made the set, your mind dressed the monster, and it was whatever your feel was, that it was wonderful. So, but that's radio. Interviewing on a radio, it's dead. It's a disaster.
It's very difficult, and it's always tough, just like you said, not being able to read facial expressions, not being able to figure out if you're hitting, if you're off, maybe if they're done. Picking up those cues is so important.
Yes. Or if the guest is doing this,
you can tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yawning. You could sit only once. Oh, no, let me tell you, long story. Angelina Jolie, who's Angie Voigt, grew up in my house in Beverly Hills. My daughter Deirdre and she went to kindergarten. They went through school together. Angie lived around the corner on Roxbury. We lived on Spalding. They used to go to the after center on Roxbury, the kids. So I used to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for her. And where am I going with this?
I don't know.
I forgot. There's a point.
I said you have said fuck you. He said you can tell people to fuck you, and I said yeah, he has, and you said only once.
Oh, only once, because a guest came on, not knowing that Angie. Well, I hate calling her Jolie. Angie Voigt is one of the most darling people I've ever known.
Oh, he said, he made a derogatory comment.
And as a grown-up, she is Angie Voigt is the kindest, soft-hearted, most sensitive, giving, lovely human being I know. And I'm looking forward to seeing her again because she lives next door to Sue Wong, who's a good friend of mine in Hollywood. And I think she may be going to Sue Wong's Big Bash. So I'll be seeing Angie again many years later. I didn't get
my invite. What the hell, Sue?
Well, because you're not
in Connecticut.
Yeah, you're in Connecticut. Anyway, this guest said the most hideous things about Angie. And I said to him, are you her friend? He said, no, never. I said, have you ever met her? He said, no, ever. I said, then shut your fucking mouth because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That girl came in my house at 5 years old. I saw her last at 18. Her tits are real. Her lips are real. Her ass is real. At 14, she was built like a brick shithouse. My daughter looked like an ironing board. Angie Voigt walked into my kitchen, this piece of ass you could not believe at 14. The sexiest, most gorgeous creature. I mean, and everybody said her lips are fake, her tits are fake. Bullshit. She had that equipment when she was a kid. So I fought with him, and he annoyed me so much, I got up and walked away.
Ron has a few favorites, too, in Hollywood, like Sadie Katz. I don't know if you guys have had Sadie Katz on your show. She's a big horror movie actress. She's also doing other things.
Yes.
But she was in, like, Wrong Turn 5. I think she's the star of Wrong Turn 5. And
Okay.
she's been in a Bus Party to Hell and all kinds of cool movies.
I worked with her.
And Clown Fear with Ron.
Fear. I played a minister, and I was marrying her. Now she gets jilted at the altar. She gave a performance that I stood there and I said to myself silently, oh my God, this woman's a wonderful actress. She didn't go out at the guy. She caved in and began to shimmy and shake and tears. It was brilliant. Now the camera is in front of her shooting a on shot, and there's an over the shoulder. The over the shoulder is showing the guy's reaction, who was no reaction because he delivered his line. He said, you fucking whore, you cheated on me. That's a nice movie I was in. I told the bride at the altar gets told, you fucking whore, I know you cheated on me. Anyway, waiting for the film to come out, when it did at the premiere, they didn't use the on shot. They used the over the shoulder. So you never saw Sadie's brilliant performance. That was because the director was an evil queen. Not a queen. He was an evil fuck. Nobody liked him. He didn't pay everybody. People were going to sue him for money. He was a dreadful human being. And Sadie wrote this movie, and he was out to get Sadie. And he never invited her to the red carpet. So what
kind of fucking horse shit is that?
Wait. I contacted him, Brooklyn style. And I said, listen, Ming Wing, whatever the fuck your name is, I said, Sadie has got to go to that red carpet with me. If not, I intend to go public and blast you right out of the water. And I've got the power, and you know it. Well, he said, oh, she's so welcome to come. So we went to the red carpet. Now we all had to go up on the stage and bullshit about the wonderful movie we're in that we all hated. And I was a gentleman, and I said, Ming Wing, whatever your name is, because I never knew his name. He was Asian. Ming Wing, I think I called him. I said, sorry for what went on the set. Sorry for what went on after the set. But we're all adults, and we should move on and forget it. He was very grateful, and he thanked me. Everybody in the audience applauded.
And then he got on, and then when it was his time to talk, he said, and Sadie Katz should be congratulated for the most magnificent performance. And just totally blew her up in front of hundreds of people. And
shit hot, damn straight. It's the way she
anyway, you guys should have Sadie.
Please.
I'd love to. It'd be incredible.
I will call Sadie's I call her my other daughter. Sadie is my closest human being. I love her, and I will call her and tell her she's got to do your show. She's gorgeous. She's sexy. She's funny, talented. Oh my God, she just did a movie with Ed Asner for the Lifetime channel. Oh, so nice. She's going to go places. She's going to be in major films. She's that much of a they flew her to Italy, to Genoa, to play in a movie that was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I said, Sadie, I had trouble with the dialogue. I know you did. And then she said, Ron, remember, the dialogue was written in Italian. When they converted it to English, it lost half of its momentum. So what did Sadie do? Sadie read the boring lines, but gave us eyes, facial expressions. She gave us animation, movement. She made those words come alive better than if they were in Italian. And I told her that. That's an actress. She's an actress.
So, Mick, do you collect action figures?
Yeah. Well, no,
interviewing the guy.
I know, but that way I get.
No, he's got to ask the question.
Okay, I collect action figures.
I've seen your collection. It's amazing.
Yeah, I freaking love it, and it's one of my more favorite things to do. My office, like yours, is filled with them, and I love horror movies. So he's got the Haddonfield, which I was going to get I was going to get a 7-foot tall Michael Myers statue for my birthday, but Ron got me a Krampus instead, which is 8 feet.
Takes up the whole room. Jimmy got me. Now he's got me collecting dolls. I have a big Cary Grant doll, a Humphrey Bogart doll with a trench coat and a hat, a Fran Drescher doll, a Howdy Doody doll, and that's it.
Oh, and the Golden Girls
and the
Funko Pop
and Buster Crab.
Nice.
And the Buster Crab
Flash Gordon, who's my idol. I grew up loving. I wanted to be Flash Gordon also, and then became Jane Russell again. But I mean, I definitely wanted to be Buster Crab.
Veered off just a little bit there.
It's funny. Casey and I
fell to the left a little. What?
On a recent episode, Casey and I were trying to recast a reboot of the Golden Girls. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, Fred Zimmerman is another one you should have. Stan Zimmerman. There's a Fred Zimmerman too. I got 2 Zimmermans in my life.
Stan Zimmerman has a show called Silver Foxes.
Yes, but wait a minute. Stan Zimmerman wrote Golden Girls, and you should have Stan on. He'll tell you what went on behind the scenes with all the
Gilmore Girls, the Brady Bunch movies.
He wrote Stan Zimmerman is one of my dearest friends.
And he's doing Silver Foxes, which is the gay version of the Golden Girls.
Right.
With old men in Palm Springs.
Old Men in Palm Springs. Oh, nice. It's going to be wonderful. So that's another one you should get on. Stan Zimmerman. I will call him and let him know, and he'll come on.
Oh,
he's a funny guy. He's got a wonderful dry sense of humor.
Gosh, you guys are the most gracious host guests I've ever had.
No, you know what? Listen, we're in the business. We all help each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, what it is, you help the people that are cool and that want to work together for a mutual beneficial relationship, and the people who just want to take from you, you tell them to go screw themselves.
I mean, Sadie Katz. I heard from a very, very big producer in the middle of America. I forgot his name. Harley Marlin.
Oh, Harley Wallen?
Harley. Anyway, that Sadie said something about their part in the movie for Ron. You know, I appreciate that. It's a movie she was going to do. And she asked the producer, is there a part in the movie for Ron? And he came on our show to push something, and he told us that story. And he said that they were really considering me for a very important part in the movie. But I forgot what happened.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember either, but it was very
COVID has kind of messed up a lot of things because only the indie films, everything is really kind of just.
I think that's what it was. They were shooting it in Illinois or somewhere.
But Ron's going to have, because I've got a whole bunch of films and he's got a bunch of other indie films, so he's got a bunch.
Oh, Jimmy's got 2 scripts that I'm crazy about.
He also has I don't know if you guys look, but Clown Motel 2. They just put up the teaser trailer. Ron's in the trailer, so he's one of the main characters in that.
I look good. They gave me good lighting. I looked at that.
I saw that. Congratulations. That
awesome. I was happy. I said I should look like that real life.
Are you both horror movie fans?
Yes, you're interviewing.
I know. Well, I want to talk.
No, you can't do that. Well, let them ask you.
Yeah, very big horror movie fan. So, Jimmy, I got to ask you though, what's your favorite collectible that you currently picked up?
My favorite collectible.
Me.
Besides him, I have 2 favorite collectibles. One of them is a tile of the alien monster made by Lance Henriksen, and he gave it to me. On the back, it says, "Jimmy Star, you're the coolest fucker ever," and he signed it and he just gave it to me. He doesn't sell them or anything. But he takes them to conventions as a prop, and he gave it to me. So that's one of them.
Wow.
And then I have did you ever see? I'm a fan of the Saw series.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So Saw 3 centers around the pink pig that the father is carrying everywhere. Well, I have the actual pink pig.
Holy shit! That's
awesome.
Fucking awesome.
So those are 2 of my favorite things. I also have a mask, an oxygen mask worn by Tobin Bell in the movie, and I have an autographed Funko Pop of Stan Lee.
And I have rhinestone earrings, rhinestone bracelet, and a rhinestone ring worn by Jane Russell, and a brassiere worn by Jane Russell.
I also have a Malcolm McDowell head from A Clockwork Orange, a ceramic head where he signed it and gave it to me. Oh,
that's pretty cool. Ron, I have to ask, did you actually wear the bra on your head?
No. The story is Jane was at my house in Florida, and we were going to the Cinema Paradiso for a film, a tribute to Jane Russell and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And Jane came out of the bedroom all dressed, and I looked at her and I said, "Jane, what happened to your tits?" She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Your tits are down to your stomach. You're famous for your tits." You know, Jane Russell, the bosom girl, she was known for that. Oh, she said, I said, "Pull the bra, tighten your bra." She said, "It's as tight as the straps will go, Ron." I said, "Well, what are we going to do?" So I said to my daughter, Leslie, I said, because Leslie was pretty buxom me, I said, "Leslie, do you have a bra to loan Jane? A long line push-up?" And Leslie said, "Yeah." And she gave Jane this long line push-up, and Jane put it on, and she came out, and her tits were nice, because she was in a velvet gown, and it showed every line, and it looked wonderful. So, of course, when Jane left, she gave Leslie back the bra, and Leslie said, "I'm never getting rid of this bra," because Jane Russell wore it, and she was famous for the Cross Your Heart bra commercial, plus for her boobs. And we're sentimental like that.
Mick, do you know who Jane Russell is? You guys seem kind of young. Okay.
You know, Marilyn.
I grew up in a household where like classic movies were revered. Like we grew up on, you know, Gary Cooper, John Wayne,
right, the classic,
Cary Grant. Yeah.
Well, Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe made the movie, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, which is a legendary movie now. It's gone, I believe, into, what do they call it when all the young people look at it? Iconic or something else.
Vintage?
No,
Classic.
there's a word for it when it makes a certain grade. Forgot. But anyway, Jane Russell was a super duper pal of mine for years. I took her name when I was young and I started off in the business, and she was flattered with that. But it presented trouble because when we went out, they'd say to me, "Are you her son?" I'd say, "Don't let her hear that." They'd say, "Are you a husband?" I'd say, "No." They'd say, "Well, you both have the same name." I said, "Coincidence." But it wasn't. I took her name. So sometimes we would go places and people would say, "Did you invite the Russells?" Jane and I would go together as a team. But she absolutely loved being out with me because she said in an interview on Barbara Walters or somebody that she dates men much younger than she. And she was referring to me and Donald Duck. Donald Duck is the guy who does the Donald Duck's voice. He was also a good friend of Jane's, and he would take her out.
His real name is not Donald Duck. He just does the voice of Donald Duck.
He does the voice.
That just means we don't know his name.
I forgot his name. It's an Italian name. But he was also a good friend of Jane's, and he used to take Jane out. So she did go out with men she was about 26 years older than I was. But you never know it because she was stunningly gorgeous. At 89, when she passed away, she was breathtaking. Her face was just
So go to a
classic.
A horror movie question.
No, Jimmy, you're doing it again.
I'm not doing it. I'm telling them to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, no, please. Jimmy, fire away.
No, we'll absolutely.
No, listen up. You guys are not getting off this easy. I want you to sweat it out. Now you show me what kind of talk show host you are. Get out of us what the audience wants to hear.
Okay. Well, for me, I know, following you guys on social media, especially, what is something, name one of your favorite contemporary guests, like acting, as of today, like that you really enjoy having on. You can always have a good time with them.
Too many to even pinpoint.
No, I can pinpoint.
Oh.
Our best show ever was John Barrowman, who he was in
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who and Torchwood, and then he's the bad archer, whatever.
Yeah, Malcolm Merlin.
Yeah, Malcolm Merlin. So that was our best show that we ever did. When we opened the show, he had a blow-up doll, and as soon as he came on, he was like French kissing the blow-up doll, and that's what started the whole thing. And it's our number one show. It got 10 million plays.
Wow.
And he's a fun guy.
One show, and he's a fun
We see him
guy.
in town. We see him in the supermarket with his lover, his boyfriend, husband, whatever. We see him all over town, and he's
very nice, cool guy. So he's our number one show. But then we have people that we've liked a lot.
I cannot say, oh my God, we've had so many. You know what? Eileen Shapiro, the greatest PR broad in the world. This broad is a genius. Another broad, she's from New York. I mean, she's got multiple businesses. Her mind just doesn't stop working. And she came on our show as a guest, and Eileen and I fell in love on the show. She said, "Ron, let's talk after the show," and we did, and we became the dearest of friends. And Jimmy then became partners with her in one of the number one PR company in the world now. People are saying
Entertainment PR, yes,
yeah,
Entertainment PR.
And Eileen Shapiro is probably one of my most important guests.
He also likes because he likes classic Hollywood. And
Lainey Kazan was on.
Richard Anderson.
Richard Anderson was a dear friend of mine.
We liked Morgan Fairchild. We had her on a couple of
times.
Morgan Fairchild.
Lainey Kazan is still a buddy of mine. You know who she is, Big Fat Greek Wedding, and a singer.
So, we felt very fortunate too with Morgan Fairchild because she's going to be on Fan Room Live soon. And she was very sweet. And she was very sweet. And she said she would only do 2 shows to promote it in the world. And we're one of the 2 shows that she came on. So it was really cool.
Who else? Richard Anderson.
They might not know who that is. Richard Anderson was Oscar Goldman in the $6 Million Man.
Okay, yeah.
Also, that's his current stuff. But he was a big star in Hollywood and all the black and white movies back in the day.
Major.
But I knew him from Oscar Goldman.
Major star. I stood next to Richard many a time, leaving restaurants and stuff. He stood about 5 inches taller than I, and I'm 6 foot. He had a posture on him. He was about 75 years old. He had a baritone voice, and he spoke. He executed every syllable, periods, commas, and everything. He spoke brilliantly. He was a wonderful father, loved his wife, was a widow, probably one of the most decent, proper human beings you will ever want to meet. He never used a foul word. He respected everybody. He was charming. He was old Hollywood when the studio used to groom them. When I was out with Richard, I complimented his wristwatch. And he said to me, well, maybe one day you'll have it. And I said, Richard, don't even say that. I'm superstitious. Well, I never got the watch, and I don't want it anyway. But I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. He said, well, maybe one day you'll have it, meaning he'll give it, when he croaks, he'll give me it. But no.
All right, go, Mick. Your turn.
Wonderful people. We know.
Like
we know some wonderful.
Oh,
people.
I see. Teresa Sabin just made a comment because I'm not seeing who's in the thing. But Teresa Sabin, she's a wonderful woman who promotes.
Hi.
And so say hi to Teresa. Hi, I see her in there. She's fabulous. She's the most wonderful lady on the
We've
planet.
got fabulous. What are they called? Chat room people.
Oh, just friends of
Oh,
ours.
we have great chat room people.
All right, Mick, you're up. Go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I know having you on the show, I want to talk horror movies now that you said it, but because I love horror movies. That's probably my geekiest
even
thing.
Even the shitty ones I'm in.
all of them.
Listen,
All of
everyone.
them.
I like the shitty ones and the good ones. I like both.
You know, I know when the movie's bad. When my ass starts to hurt in the seat in the theater. And I know that the movie's boring and my ass hurts. Because, you know, in Hollywood, those theater seats are from 100 years ago.
So go,
the springs go right up your
Go,
hole.
Mick. Tell us a little bit about some of yours.
Well, that's just exciting. That's just reminding you to stay awake.
You know, with Casey and I doing this and always you know, trying to get better and better at what we do, especially playing off of each other. What's some advice you guys would have, like with starting out, you know, doing a show like this, how we can kind of build it up, like, you know, and what we should, you know, we'll be genuine to ourselves.
Well, I would say get naked and have sex. That should sell.
All right. Oh, not yet.
Here we
Oh,
go.
sorry.
Not yet. We have guests.
What can you do? It's magic. You know, 100 people want to be actors, and one makes it. And you say, why did that one make it and the 99
like
others didn't?
Yeah.
Because that one person had something that the camera liked and that the viewers liked. It's called personality, or it's called something. I don't know what it is. But
it's good though that the two of you aren't like Ron and I. We're not the same. Like we like he's funny. I'm not really that funny. I'm really good at making sure we promote all the things that we have to have promoted.
Jimmy is a genius.
I'm really good at interacting with the fans and all that kind of stuff because I remember all of them and everything. But he's like the funny one. So you guys have the kind of like the same kind of like a dynamic going because you're so witty and quick, and you might be, but you let him do it either way. Once in a while, I can be witty, but I'm really not witty, because he's witty all the time.
Yeah, but in regard to Jimmy, I do 2 hours a week. Jimmy does 7 days a week, 24 hours.
Yeah.
Our show would not be where it is and what it is if Jimmy didn't work at it.
You have to know how to promote.
I'm talent. I don't go beyond. You know, after talent, fuck you, and I do a thing.
I have to get us on all the platforms. Where our show's on like 150 platforms.
And I have no idea what that means, you know.
And like I just joined.
Kind of shoe, Ron. It's not a kind of shoe.
You know, we're on video platforms, and we're on all different kinds of platforms, and there's a lot of work that goes into like doing all the like promotions of it. And Ron's basically like the star of the show.
No, I'm not.
Because I have a big social media presence. People follow me and like want to know what's going on because I do. I'm the one with social media presence. He's the one with the physical presence.
No. Being a little boy in Brooklyn, Red Hook, living in the projects of Red Hook, where everybody was a mafia's child. Everybody, I mean, all my friends, their fathers were like Gotti people years later. You had to be a tough kid. So I used humor to make them like me because I never played baseball. I never did the things the other guys did. I couldn't give, as a fag, what do I give a shit? But I used humor. And the mafia. I can't use that word. There's no such thing as the mafia.
Right.
But
we all know that.
Providence.
Well, you know, let's put it this way: business people are still friends of mine. And I don't think years ago that gay men could be friends with the business people I know. But I was. Now it's okay because the business people like gay people. They accepted them finally. But there was a time 40, 50 years ago where they beat fags up. I mean, get out of here, you fucking queer. And they knock you right through the wall. So humor is a wonderful. I wish today we had humor. I think if we had humor, politics wouldn't be as horrible as they are, as mean, as vicious. We need humor again. We don't have it. We need stand-up comics. We don't have them. Stand-up comics today talk about shit that's political and horrible. There's no such thing anymore as making fun of oneself. You can't do that. You can't talk about a woman's tits. You can't do that. You can't talk about your dick. You can't do that. You can't talk about anything. It's like freedom of speech is gone with the wind. There's no more. You can't go out and do what you want to do anymore. There's always somebody jumping down your throat saying, that's impolite. That's politically incorrect. Go fuck
or I'm
yourself.
Offended.
Yeah,
or...
it's humor. It's called make fun of. It's a joke. A joke is not real. A joke is making fun of the point of whatever it is that you're doing stupidly. So,
and that's the idea. The more you can bring that to people, I think that helps. I think that is, like you said, that's exactly what we're missing. And it's unfortunate we've reached that point.
And
because
Casey talks about his dick all the time. So
seriously, it's incredible. It's wonderful to discuss my penis.
Your penis, because Eileen Shapiro always talks about mine. She calls me the tripod, which is not true. But she.
Oh, Jimmy, you're a lucky man, huh?
Yes.
No, I talk about her tits. I always say Eileen turns a corner, her tits come first, 10 minutes later, her body comes.
Those are some incredible tits.
Well, Eileen's got the biggest tits in the world, and she said, Ron Russell made my tits famous. And I said, not really. All the guys on Long Island for the last 30 years have made your tits famous. But, anyway, we play, we do jokes. Now, the joke I just said, some people will be offended. They'll say, that's terrible that he's talking about his friend's bosoms like that. It's a fucking joke. You're supposed to go, ha, ha, ha. You don't know how to do ha, ha, ha.
I think the fun part about our dynamic, especially on our old show, because Casey was the moderator on our old show, and I was more like the buffoon, making the jokes. And then we flip-flopped when we started this show. And
Wait a minute. Did you just call me a buffoon?
No, not at all.
I think
yeah, you kind of did.
That's the wrong
What the
word.
shit?
No,
Look at the shiny thing behind you.
No, if you're a comic, you're not a buffoon. There's a big difference.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Holy crap. Someone just called me a comic.
No, a comic is scripted and knows what he's doing. A buffoon is like a moron. It just goes around shooting shit out of his mouth that sometimes people make fun of. So, no, a comic is an art. Anybody can do drama. Drama is easy because it's sad. Comedy is difficult because you may do a joke and people look at you like you're strange. Like, why are you up on that stage? You're not funny. Why don't you go home? And you worry about that.
You have to have timing.
I call it the button. Jimmy and I have trouble sometimes. And
I step on the button.
I set up a joke and then he doesn't give me time to hit the button. And the joke just goes right out the window. It's gone. It's never coming back. And it's been hilarious. Comedy is timing. Comedy is within you. You don't create it. You don't learn it. It's in you. As a little boy, my mother and my family used to be hysterical for me. I always had a sarcastic humor. I always said things about neighbors. I always had a joke about a neighbor that I didn't like because they used to yell at me for, chalking their sidewalk. As kids, we used to draw things on the sidewalk.
Oh, chalk.
Chalk.
Yeah,
wow.
I definitely heard fucking. I was.
Yeah.
See, that's good. That's good. We got to do more. But anyway, comedy is difficult. Very difficult.
And we're on the air together for almost 10 years, and I still sometimes step on the button. I don't do it on purpose. I just do it.
But
it can happen.
I can set up a joke I could start in the beginning of our show, set up a joke that I'll hit the button at the end of the show. That's difficult to do because the continuity remained throughout the 2 hour or the 1 hour of the interview. Mm-hmm. That's difficult. And when I do that, and he stepped on the button, I want to scream.
He does. He just doesn't want to. He screams. He screams. You ruined the joke.
I did a 45-minute setup, you motherfucker, and now you step on my button.
Yeah, that happens.
You invest that much time, you can't be dicking around with the button.
Right.
Exactly. And if you don't hit the button on a joke, you suck. You know
Bingo.
that.
Oh, 100%.
You got to deliver that line, and it's got to be the right timing, and bingo, it works.
Well, Ross Lang is in the chat room too. Ross Lang likes you guys.
Hey, Ross.
He's
Hey,
cool.
Ross.
He's a good friend of mine. I do a lot of projects with
All
him.
right, now
So what's up, Ross?
ask us questions. Jimmy, shut up.
Okay.
Mick, fire away. What you got?
What? Mick, fire away. What you got? What do you got? So anyway.
Oh, no, I'll do that. Sure. All right, gentlemen.
I got some, Jimmy.
Oh, sorry. Well, now you got something. Well, first you don't have something. Now you got something. I don't know what you got.
Listen, calm it down. Calm it down. Take that headband off. Put it over your face. We're good to go. All right. So, Jimmy, I got a question for you because you are juggling so much. Writer, producer, actor, director. You are promotions. You are running like the world right now. What is like? How do you handle all of it? I'm trying to figure out how to run this little thing.
You know, everything is interrelated. Everything I do is interrelated. The movies I'm producing, I try to get the guests who've been on our show to star in the movies. So, you know, I make everything run in tangent. A lot of my PR clients are the guests who come on the show. And I do have a partner, you know, who helps in the PR stuff, Eileen Shapiro. I don't really.
Great tips, right?
That's great tips.
Great tips.
You know, I don't really. I'm really a shitty actor. I've been in a ton of movies because I'm an extra, but I suck. But people put me in them because of my promotional skills.
No, you go in them. I've asked Jimmy. I've said, please don't be in a movie with me. We're on television. I don't want them to think we're Abbott and Costello. You know, that we're a comedy team.
So I've kind of dropped out of. I do little cameos here and there. I'm doing the radio drama because I got asked to do it years ago.
I'm excited about that.
But I've really let me finish though. I've really transferred over to producing. You know, so I'm really behind the scenes and getting everybody cast and looking for the money and looking for all the things that we need. And he's really like because he can actually act. I really can't. I'm just in a lot of shit.
I have to talk about one script that Jimmy has that I love. It's called Quigley. It's about a dog who dies and goes to heaven. I'm gonna cry. I could cry from this.
No, the dog's just in heaven. We don't know how he got there.
Well, the first one.
Oh, okay.
And he comes back as an angel dog. He's a cutest. You want to fall in love with this
white Pomeranian.
Oh, you love this dog. He helps autistic children. I mean, it's a brilliant movie. It's a Christmas movie. It's a tearjerker. It's just
called Quigley too.
It's a beautiful script written by
William Byron Hillen.
Yeah. Brilliant script. His first movie was a great success. Now they're trying to raise funds for Quigley 2. And
it got named one of the best children's films,
family
films of all time.
I said to Jimmy,
it had Academy Award nominee in it.
Wait, I said to Jimmy, when you present this film to the investors, change it a little bit. Make the dog go to hell and come back a devil. And he looks like Donald Trump. And he goes and he beats the shit out of the autistic kids. Then you will get the funding for this movie. People will.
I have a great cast attached to it. It's a really cool movie.
Am I wrong or right?
Who doesn't want to watch somebody beat up autistic kids, right?
I mean, absolutely. It's a thing to do. So my fear is only that goodness is not in demand. But there is an audience out there of children
who should
really see this film.
I'm going to check it out. My daughter's one of them. I appreciate it. I will definitely.
Oh, yeah, my kids will watch it.
It teaches children to be kind to other children who are not the same as they are. Mm-hmm. I love Quigley. If I was a multimillionaire, I would put millions into it. I believe in it so strongly. Would I play a detective?
I think I
play a detective in it, which is a good role because I play a lot of cops. And I hope I bust the guys who are trying to hurt they're trying to take the property away from the autistic children who make toys for Santa. It's a wonderful story. A beautiful, beautiful fairy.
But that's so easy to make a villain because the moment you have autistic kids, anyone like the guy who trips them walking across the street or something. I mean, that's the easiest villain ever.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very good.
You know, Bill writes well. I've read a few. I would be in any of Bill's films.
You're going to be.
I am, because Bill Bill is my age, a little older. He's from old Hollywood. He knows shit from Shinola. He's a writer. He's a wonderful director. Producer. He has a vision. And when he does a film, it's nowadays, but with the old style, which makes it charming. So I would say, and then Jimmy has another movie. I don't think we can discuss it. The one I like, where I play, do I play a slave trader, a mafia guy? Who do I play?
Are you talking about Get Her? I have a human trafficking story.
Very, very scary.
That's going to be
very dark. Very,
one.
very.
That one's close to getting funded, I believe.
That one is going to be.
And we're coming East Coast because we're shooting in Atlanta. Atlanta has great tax incentives, so we're either going to shoot in Atlanta or Tennessee.
That story is tongue in cheek. Do I play a detective again?
I don't know who you're playing.
Or Slate? I forgot what I played. But anyway, looking forward to that film. These are all major movies. You know, they're not. They don't go to Walmart for $9.99.
Yeah,
like
no,
the
it's
movies,
big deal
movies
stuff.
I'm in the $9.99 Walmart movies.
Yeah.
I'm going to win a Walmart award one day.
Actually,
that's what I mean. Listen, I tried to be a filmmaker, and that's where they all ended up too.
No, but they're going to give me one day the Walmart.
Walmart's
award.
okay if that's your last place you go after you've already done your distribution. You know, and you know.
Do you know what the Walmart award would be? It's a statue of a 700-pound woman in a bikini.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's a Walmart award.
Eating popcorn or something, or trying to take a butt.
Bad joke. Throw it away. Didn't work.
I tried to save it, man. I got nothing.
Nah, they don't always
CPR
work.
on that.
Teresa says your hair is beautiful.
What?
Teresa says your hair is beautiful.
Oh, Teresa, thank you. Thank you. And it's all mine.
So what's your favorite horror movie? I don't know what time this goes till. If you stop soon, but what time? What is your guys' favorite horror movies or series?
I'm a Halloween guy all the way.
Okay.
Love Halloween.
The Thing is probably my favorite.
Oh, that's a good one. Nobody ever says The Thing.
I love The Thing. I'm an Alfred Hitchcock Psycho, the original.
Nice.
Nothing will ever beat that movie. I couldn't believe that the star got killed in the first 10 minutes. I kept saying, "Oh, she's going to come out of the trunk of the car and swim to the shore." But she never did.
You never know where it's going to go from there when the first time.
It was unprecedented. I mean, no one ever killed a star off in the beginning of the movie. It was just not done. And Hitchcock said, "Screw you, I'm doing it."
Leave it to Hitchcock. I mean, I don't know if it was just his hate for women or what it was that really pushed that over the line, but he did a fantastic job with it.
Tippi Hedren is a good friend of mine, and I interviewed Tippi, and I was up at Shambhala with her for a long time, and we talked about Hitchcock. I'm not at liberty to say some of the things that we discussed because it's really gross and probably libel because there's no proof. But Tippi Hedren's career was destroyed by Alfred Hitchcock because she wouldn't swing with him. Yeah. And that is totally cruel. I respect Hitchcock as an artist, but not as a human. As a human, he was a dirty old man. He was just like, he probably would go to 42nd Street, put $1 in the machine and look at the girls' pussies, one of those things.
Yep.
I think they do those anymore.
Like half of the men in the world do.
Well, I definitely saw a documentary about it from the 50s, so I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
Listen,
with Tippi. Tippi Hedren is another one of my dear friends who's a sweetie pie. She's so beautiful and kind and was a good actress. Marnie, she did a brilliant job.
Yeah.
And he held her contract up for 7 years. And she was hot. After she did Marnie, she was hot. Everybody in Hollywood wanted her. In fact, they wanted to do, I forgot what movie. Oh, Grace Kelly was supposed to do Marnie, but didn't do it because she was a princess. So Tippi did it. And then after she did Marnie, that was it. She was skyrocketing. Hitchcock was a very mean man. I feel my opinion.
Did you guys like The Lost Boys?
Yeah, I saw you were in it when I looked up the IMDb.
Yeah, I'm an extra in it, but I'm also super good friends. Well, I was really good friends with Brooke McCarter, who played Paul.
Yes.
He really died. And Corey Haim was a good friend of mine, and I actually I'm still friends with his mom, because he passed away. And I used to be a celebrity clothing designer, and so he used to wear a bunch of my clothes, and they sold them on eBay to help pay for the funeral.
Oh shit! Wait, hold on. So I got to ask, what kind of clothes were you designing? Like, what was your thing? What was your frame in which when you draped things on people?
One of a kind rock and roll clothes. That's how I actually.
Well, he had a T-shirt that he put a picture up on Facebook, and I said, "Jimmy, take the picture down."
It said, "Fuck me, I'm famous."
No, it said, "Suck my cock."
Oh, okay. I did a lot of wild stuff. Like I had a Whitney Houston concert T-shirt that said "crack whore" on it.
T-shirt said,
"Nice."
No, the T-shirt said, "Suck my cock, I'm famous."
No, it said, "Fuck me, I'm famous."
Whatever.
Either way, it works. In fact, now you could have another shirt.
Yeah, but I told him, I said, "You're a big shot movie producer now and a #1 TV host. don't have that.
I made like really wild clothes. Not everything said that. I made like stuff with horror movie people on it, and the reason the way I got celebrity guests, because back when I started the show 14 years ago, nobody was doing podcasts. I was one of the first people. Most people, like, you've been around 10 years. That's a long time. You have a lot more experience than most. Most people, have been doing it for 6 months.
How about 6 hours?
And so when I first started, I was a celebrity clothing designer, and I would go to Comic-Con type things, and I would give away the clothes to all the stars if they would let me take pictures with them. And then while they were there, I would get all their information, and then they would come on the show. And that's how, right off the bat, I was able to get such famous people. As soon as I started my show, I had like big stars.
That's fucking brilliant, man.
And that's how I actually did it. That's how I got the stars.
And I had a television show called Set the Record Straight. It was on major TV, channel, forgot what channel, channel 111 here in Palm Springs. And I had legends of Hollywood on. And I would say to them, whatever has been said about you in the press that you want to correct, set the record straight now before you die. They all said what they didn't like that was said about them that was untrue. And it was a fun show. Jane Russell, we talked about what size bra was she. And, I just had crazy shit. In fact, Jane Russell, Esther Williams, the swimmer, lovely, lovely lady. And I go to Esther Williams' house because she's best friends with Jane Russell in Malibu. And I meet Esther Williams, and we're chatting. And I said, so you're going to come on my TV show? She said, I don't know. I said, why? She said, well, Jane said you ask crazy questions. I said, Jane, what kind of questions are crazy? She said, like the world needs to know how big my bra was. That's crazy. I said, no, it's not. I said, because you were famous for your tits, and we found out you were a 34B. So Esther turned around and she said, Jane, is that all you were a 34B?
That's it?
And that's all she was. She had little titties, but they made such a big deal about it.
You know what?
I mean, they were definitely prominently focused on and everything that was written about her.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, I mean, she was not Esther Williams, I think, said she was a 34B also. Esther Williams, by the way, was an enchanting woman. She was a down-to-earth regular girl. She was like a small-town broad that swam. She was good. I liked Esther Williams, but she never came on my show because what's her name? No. Her dearest friend in the world used to be on that TV show with the guy with the pizza. I forgot her name. Passed away.
Cheers?
No, the other one with the guy.
Laverne and Shirley. I don't know.
No, the tough guy. What's his name? The motorcycle guy, Italian.
I don't know.
Oh, anyway, it's too much.
Tony Chopsy?
Happy
Days?
No.
Happy Days. And she was somebody on. I forgot.
Good job.
Anyway, she passed away. Now, Esther Williams became paranoid because they were the same age. In fact, I spoke with Esther's husband because she was in a deep depression. She was really fucked up. When Jane Russell died, he called me and I spoke to him and he said, Ron, whatever you do, we do not want Esther to know that Jane passed away. She can't handle it. And I suspect that she had some other issues because she passed away not too long afterwards. But that's how close of friends they were. They were like sisters. They'd sleep in each other's houses. It's sad when you get to be my age because I lost Mr. Blackwell, the designer, who's my best friend. I loved him. I lost Jane. I lost Betty Davis. I lost
yesterday Mary Wilson. Today Mary Wilson died. She was on our show.
And I love Mary Wilson. She was a sweetie. Cloris Leachman, my God, a good friend of mine.
Oh my God!
I told you, I interviewed her 3 times, and I went to interview her for the 3rd time in Florida. And I went into the hotel, up into her hallway, and there's all furniture in the hallway. And the manager of the hotel is throwing her out of the hotel. And Cloris said, "I don't care." She said, "It's feng shui. It was all wrong." So she wanted to do. Yeah, well, that's Cloris. So we went down. No, I'm serious. She took lamps and tables and chairs and put them out in the hall because they were not positioned correctly. And she likes magic, and feng shui is magic. So we went down into the lobby, and she said, "Let's do the interview here in the lobby." I don't give a shit. I said, "You want to do it?" "I don't care." I said, "Aren't you embarrassed that they're throwing you out of this hotel?" She said, "No, I've been thrown out of plenty of hotels." So she was used to it. But I loved Cloris. And we started to do the interview, and I had just let my hair grow in white. And she was so wonderful. This I take to my grave with me. She got her hand and she rolls it around my face. She said, Ron, I love all of this. And I thought that was so sweet. So
she sounds like she's just an absolutely amazing woman.
Oh, she was a pisser and a half. Are you kidding?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Amazing woman. Yeah.
You want to talk about a sense of humor? Oh, my God. She could say a straight line and make it funny. This woman was a born comedian. Beautiful woman, too. As an old lady, she's still stunning. Beautiful smile.
Well, Ron, I hate to interrupt, but I have to completely disagree with you saying that you're unfortunate to be at your age, because it sounds fucking awesome to be at your age, and I hope to reach your age, because you've had quite a lot of life and some kick-ass experiences, met some amazing people, and I'm so glad you were able to share those with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stacey, your life, you only know me.
Yeah, I know. This is the fucking only guy I know. Are you kidding me? What the fuck?
But you know what? The people that I know are no longer here. So you have the new ones. And like Jimmy said, so-and-so's coming on our show. I said, who's she? I never heard of her. He said, oh, she's famous. She won this award. She's in that movie. I said, I don't give a shit where she is. I never heard of her. So people today, I don't know of because they don't have proper publicity. You need to have good PR. I'm not plugging Jimmy. I'm just talking about any PR agent. You've got to get. Like years ago, we had movie magazines. We followed Marilyn and Bridget Bardot and Jane Mansfield, all their tits and ass. It was wonderful. We had beautiful pictures, and we knew who our stars were. Today,
there's so many shows, and there's so many. I mean, like
it's very hard today to be a star.
Well, everyone's able to choose who they want to be a star. So each person gets to connect the way they choose. So it's not anywhere near the level, or that we're never going to have that achievement the way we did previously. You know, because that's how I know my Bogart. I mean, Humphrey, he was my guy. I grew up as a Casablanca kid. That's who I wanted to be. You know, so it's not the same.
Yeah.
I spoke to Lauren Bacall. One of the things we were drinking together, and she was kind of open-mouthed, and I was asking her questions about Bogey, and I found her to be very vague about it. She wasn't going to give me what I needed in my questions. And the very end of the evening, I kissed her goodbye, and I said, "Thank you so much for putting up with my bullshit. I know I was prying, Betty." She said, "Listen, that's okay." She said, "You can cry all you want. That doesn't mean I'm going to tell you." And I hugged her. Oh, another thing she said to me that was provocative. When I said, about people don't like watching old movies, she said, "Ron, a movie is only old after you've seen it." And I use that all the time. I quote her all the time.
Oh, I'm definitely using that now.
Yeah.
No, when they say,
I was going to say, I will say, I'll go back real quick to Brooke McCarter. I was very fortunate in my life when I was in college. I met Brooke, and he produced a short film that I wrote and I was directing. And, we've talked about this online, I know, and he was one of the most wonderful human beings I've ever known. And
oh, my God.
See, you're young and you have a story.
He was so fabulous.
Oh, he's dead?
Yeah, he died.
Oh,
he died like 3 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago. But I actually met him at a convention, and he was taping for a reality show, and I was just one of the people there, and they saw how I was talking to all the celebrities. And so he wanted to know who I was. And so I just went, "Hey, I'm Jimmy Star," and hosted the Jimmy Star Show and did all this like booby-boo stuff. And he was so impressed that he called me the Monday after the thing. And he said, "Hey, we want to bring a film crew and see your clothing design." Because I had a clothing showroom then. "We want to see it and tape and stuff." And he came down and spent a couple of days, and we taped all kinds of stuff. And we just became really good friends. And then every convention in Florida, I would meet him. at them. And we would just like hang out, and it was just a lot of fun. And then he was in Emerging Past, which is a friend. Thomas Churchill is a director friend of ours that Ron's been in some of his movies, and he was in that film.
I have to plug it. The Big Friggin' Rat, soon to come out.
Yeah, there you go. But Brooke was awesome, and Corey Haim was awesome. I was friends with Corey Feldman, but he's actually like a dick. He's really not nice. And
heard it here first, folks.
And he blocked me on like social media and stuff because we see him Ron and I see him all the time when we go out to red carpet events here, but he's so full of himself, you just can't even like stand it. And
I think he's loaded here.
I didn't like the fact that he like sold out Corey Haim and was like writing tell-all books about stuff that happened to Corey Haim and stuff after he died.
Yeah, that was some bullshit. Yeah,
I thought that was shitty, and I tweeted it, and then he blocked me that I thought it was shitty because I'm really good friends with Corey's mom. I talk to her all the time, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was terrible. But The Lost Boys is one of my favorite films. I love it to death. I love the Saw franchise. It's one of my like favorite franchises. And I basically like anything that's horror movies or superheroes. Those are my like big things.
That's nice. Awesome. Oh, Jimmy, you're in my brain, man.
Yeah. You gotta like enjoy it. So it's a lot of fun. And I think
who's your favorite superhero, Jimmy?
You know, I don't really have such a favorite so much. I kind of like all of them. I mean, I really like X-Men movies though. So like I'm a big fan of the X-Men. X-Men are big. I actually like the first versions of the movies, you know, with Halle Berry and like all those people better. But I think it's a lot of fun. A friend of mine was Beast in one of them. And Kelsey so I think that he only played Beast in he played Sabretooth. I'm sorry, he played Sabretooth in the first one.
Tyler Mane?
No, Tyler Mane played it in the second one, but in the first one where he's not in it a whole lot, it's Steve Basic. And
okay.
And so Steve Basic's a friend of mine who I literally just got back in touch with again like 3 months ago on Instagram. We started following each other and talking.
That's fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
And but I really like all the superhero movies. I basically like all of them. I like Marvel. I like DC. I'm a big Aquaman fan. I like Aquaman a lot. I didn't think the movie was that great, but I like Aquaman. I just like the character. Like when I was a kid, I had like every Aquaman action figure, you know, that ever came out because I liked Aquaman. And you know what I really liked? Did you ever see Aquaman, like the TV version that only had like a couple of episodes?
Yeah,
stars the guy from This Is Us.
Yeah, This Is Us. Justin Hartley or something.
Yeah, Justin Hartley, and he was great. Yes, and Justin Hartley was great for anybody who wants. In Bad Moms Christmas, we watched at Christmas time, and he plays a stripper in it, and he is hilarious in it. He's like really good. So. And he's also, I'm not sure if he was in The Hunt. Was he in The Hunt? I don't know. I think he might have been in The Hunt. Yeah, he was in The Hunt. We have Ethan Suplee coming on our show tomorrow, and like he was in The Hunt too.
Oh, awesome! I love Ethan Suplee, man. He was great in like Butterfly Effect, and he's just done so many things. But he was fantastic.
Man. American History X. Mm-hmm. Remember the Titans? Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Who else is coming out?
I don't know.
You don't know? Do we have a show tomorrow? You know who your second guest?
Well, I have like invites out to several people, so I'm like working on it.
Well, shouldn't one of them RSVP?
Well, I'm working on it. You know, like sometimes it's not that easy to get them all like you know going. So I'm working.
And there's nothing better than a surprise guest, right?
That's right. It's going to be a surprise guest. I'm hoping Augie Duke's coming on.
Oh, Augie!
I'm trying to get Augie Duke to come on. Next week I have Sam Harris coming on.
Augie's a dear friend. Sure, of course.
I know, but everybody's got something going on tomorrow for some reason.
They're working.
I had Marilyn Gigliotti, and then she said something happened and she has to go to work. So I had like all these different people.
They're working. That's good.
Yeah, they're all working.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Jimmy, one question I have for you too, just like again doing this and like reaching out, because I'm always reaching out and talking to different promoters and PR reps and such. Some great, like yourself. Some not so great. So for us, like I'm always trying to reach out and for interviews, things like that, or even guest spots or whatever. Is there a good way to go about it? Like a way that you can recommend, like is the best way?
You know what? I get every guest, not every guest, 90% of every guest we've ever had, I got on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I tweet to them, and I have a little picture graphic that shows it. And now I've got a new tweet because we just broke 1 billion streams. So now I can say, we broke 1 billion streams.
Shit, yeah, congratulations.
Love to have you on our show.
Whatever that means, he hasn't told me.
No, it means 1 billion
That's
people
amazing.
watch our show.
1 billion?
1 billion, yeah.
1 billion.
I better get a facelift.
And so I
you look wonderful. Stop it.
But like I said, before pre-COVID, 14 years ago, I used to go to every convention that was in Florida, and I would meet the celebrities, and that's how I got them to come on originally until I built a name for myself. There are a lot of PR people who suck, but basically you just have to network with people and ask them, how they get people or will they help you, and I think anybody who you help should help back, and if they don't, you don't help them. You just get rid of them.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And I would suggest when you call up an actor or a celebrity, whatever, not to be subservient anyway. Don't make it like they're doing you a favor. You're doing them a favor, and you are, in fact, doing them a favor because you're putting them on what is this, television? What do you call this shit? Streaming. And they're going to be seen by lots of people for free. And you're doing this for them. It's your talent, your electric, your light bulbs. And I would let them know that this is a gift we're giving you. So why don't you come on our show and promote who you are better? We have the ability to do that. And if you don't come on our show, you drop dead and kill yourself.
I mean, there's subtlety, Ron. It's the subtlety right there that really just drives it home.
One thing too about that is though, and he's joking about the fuck you thing, is don't ever burn a bridge. Because I have people that I reached out to people like the first 3 or 4 or 5 years, and they never responded. And then in the 6th year they responded. And like Clifton Collins was a great guest for us. Got tons of plays. He's a great actor.
I have a great story.
I had for 5 years. I tried to get him on, and he never responded. And then finally, one day he responded, and so you never really know. We have Sam Harris coming on next week. I probably asked him 50 times in 10 years to come on.
Well, now that listen, Raquel Welch, you know who she is, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. She was going to come on our show, and she text messaged us. I just watched one of your show. No way will I ever go on your show.
That's amazing.
And I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was so. She wrote, "No way will I ever go on your show." Because I think the show she watched was when Eileen and I were talking about bits of every week our show is filthy. You know that. So it's only clean.
It's glorious.
When we have guests that we don't think can handle it, we clean it up. But if we have guests that play
we were very proper with Morgan Fairchild. It was like an actual...
I mean, we've had gorgeous guys on. I mean, hunky, handsome, straight, butch actors, really famous ones. And I said to them, how big is your dick? And I know that they would play it back. I did it in a funny way, of course. I said, all the women in the chat room and the fags in the chat room want to know how big your dick is. And they sometimes answer. They're very funny.
We even had the guy from Gigolos. There used to be a TV show called Gigolos.
Yeah.
And he was on there telling us how he makes $10,000 a day with the women, and he has his own dildo in all the sex shops. Right. And he's like showing us on the screen. Yeah, this is it. It was hilarious.
The way I ask, I just go, okay, stop me.
No, years and years and years and many, many millions of years ago, on Long Island, if you were driving to work in the morning, there was a man on the radio, and his name was Howard Stern.
He's still on.
And he was a brand new interviewer. And I remember people saying he's disgusting, he's filthy, he asks women how big their tits are, he talks dirty. Oh my God, he's filthy. Don't watch that. Don't listen to his show, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, all the guys in my neighborhood, the straight men, they all were listening to Howard Stern because they loved it.
Look how big he got.
And look at where Howard Stern is today. So filth sells if you do it properly. The only thing I've ever seen Howard Stern do, which I thought was improper, was when he had Fran Drescher on. And he said, take that dildo and let me see how you give a blowjob on the dildo. And I wouldn't even do that. And I saw how...
What, actually do the dildo bit or ask Fran Drescher?
No, I would. I know.
We had her on our show.
I love Fran. I know Franny. I love her, and she was so polite. I tried to get out of it, and was very upset about it. Anyway, it was not comfortable for the guest. There's a point to go to. I mean, asking Fran Drescher to suck a dildo off and show how you blow up somebody is really that's really going with the wind.
Gone with the wind.
Well, but
wow.
Howard Stern is gone with the wind. That's why he gets $35 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
I get zippity doo dah.
Guys, this has been amazing. If we can ever get you back on, I say we play a rousing game of who knows their partner best.
Ooh, I like it.
That would be fun.
It might be a fun one. But I've loved talking to you guys. I've loved having you on. Jimmy, you have been something of a mentor to me, just, watching you work. It has been fantastic and amazing. Ron, getting to know you as well, it's been a true blessing to get to know you guys. You guys are just wonderful.
I just feel like we're friends hanging out in the kitchen talking.
That's
It's
the
what
idea.
we go for.
That's what we're doing.
It's a conversation show. You're not
Precisely.
asking me stupid questions. I hate those stupid questions.
We don't have time for stupid questions.
Well,
It's bullshit.
Everybody uses the same fucking questions on them. What made you want to be an actor? Oh, the same thing that made me want to be gay. I just woke up one day and said, I'm going to be gay. You know.
You guys, thank you so much for having us on.
Yes, I'm hungry.
We
Thank you
haven't
so
had
much.
we haven't
I
had
appreciate it
dinner
so
yet.
much.
Do you
Well,
guys
please.
have regular
please.
day, do you guys have regular day jobs?
I do.
This
yes.
is it for me.
He's crushing it with this. He's built this whole empire that he's working on. That I'm hoping to just. I'm basking in the glory of his wonderful work. Unfortunately, I do that dumb 9-to-5 shit.
I will let you ride my coattails as long as you're around.
I don't think he rides coattails. I think he holds his own. But now
he 100% holds his own. I'm picking on Casey, but he is a true blessing.
Be safe with COVID, and please be safe driving in your snow. I understand you're going to get quite a bit of snow all week long.
Yeah,
and,
get long.
And let me know.
Wait. And they said ice underneath the snow. And you know what that means. It's dangerous.
Let me know if you have a Wednesday that you can take off one day, and then we'll schedule you guys to come on one of our slots on a Wednesday.
Done. Absolutely. Absolutely. That would
make that work.
100%.
You can maybe take your lunch break otherwise or whatever and use your 45-minute lunch break to come on.
Luckily, with all the COVID crap, I get to work from home a lot. So, yeah, this is the office.
Oh, okay. Fine. Okay.
And that'll give
I might call you in the morning because if I don't have a guest.
Hey, if you don't have a guest, we're ready.
We're
in.
Thank
you so much, guys.
That'll give us a chance to continue interviewing you.
That's
yeah,
right.
hey, no, we got to flip it on your show now. It's your turn.
Right, it'll be
No, but
fun.
I'm saying we've interviewed you on your show. Now we're going to continue on our show. But
I'm
fellas,
good with it.
Stay safe. You're terrific. I enjoyed you guys so much. And yes, we will do it again. Absolutely.
Oh, and send us the link to this. So we'll share it out.
I can put it on Facebook.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Jimmy. Thank you, Ron. Everybody, check out the Jimmy Star with Ron Russell show at Wednesdays. I'm going to have all the links in the descriptions below, so please, thank you for watching. Check out the scenesnobs.com. We have fantastic shows. And up next is Carpool Shenanigans, brand new show on the channel. Thank you again. And Jimmy, Ron, you are the best.
Love you. Be good to each other.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, fellas. Take care, boys.
Nice
guys. Nice guys. Really a nice.
And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening. I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and commenting along and everything else. Go check out this show or any of our other shows on thescenesnobs.com. Thescenesnobs.com. We love you. You guys are awesome. And if you would like, follow and subscribe to our social media. That really helps us go a long way. And please spread the word. Tell your friends. Have them come in. We love feedback and everything else. So everybody, you have a great day. Again, thanks for listening. TheSceneSnobs.com. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.